Welcome back, movie buffs. Today we are diving into the 2026 movie, They Will Kill You. But before we begin, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss any of our heart-pounding movie breakdowns. Two sisters, Asia and Maria Reeves, stop at a supermarket to buy supplies before leaving for New York. While shopping, little Maria spots some chocolates and asks if they can buy them. Asia says no. Money is tight and they need to save every dollar for the trip. Maria is nervous about leaving. She worries that the man they are running from will find them. She tells Asia she is scared he will lock them in the basement again. Asia comforts her and promises that it will never happen. She shows Maria the bird tattoo on her wrist and says it means freedom. No one will trap them again. As Asia walks away, Maria secretly slips the chocolates into her bag. At that moment, a man walks into the store asking about two girls. Maria freezes in fear and quickly runs to find her sister. The man calmly walks through the aisles, calling out to them. He says he is not angry and talks about how hard things have been since their mother died. Soon he finds the shopping basket they left behind. The sisters quietly head for the exit, but the alarm suddenly goes off because of the stolen chocolates. The man chases after them while another man blocks their way with a car outside. Asia pulls out a gun. The man looks at her without fear and asks if she is really willing to shoot her own father. Asia does not hesitate. As he runs toward them, she pulls the trigger. He drops to the ground but still manages to grab Maria's leg. Police sirens are heard in the distance. In a heartbreaking moment, Asia makes the painful choice to run, leaving Maria behind. 10 years later, Asia arrives in New York City. She walks up to a tall old building and rings the bell. Her eyes fall on strange carvings near the entrance, images of hell and dark figures. A woman named Lily opens the door. Asia introduces herself as Isabel Davidson, the new maid. Lily says she sounded different on the phone. After checking her ID, Lily lets her inside. As soon as she enters, Isabel notices the heavy locks on the doors. Seeing her reaction, Lily explains that the building is old, and the extra security is for everyone's safety. Lily introduces her to Sharon, the owner of a cosmetics company. She also meets Dr. Sheepman and his wife, Anne, who live in the building. Sharon notices Isabel is wet from the rain and kindly offers her a coat. She also asks about the bruise near her eye. Isabel lies and says she slipped in the shower. Sharon does not look fully convinced. As Isabel walks through the building, she notices maids working quietly in every corner. Lily steps into one room to speak with a maid who is eating dinner. A young boy suddenly walks out and calls Isabel Piggy. Lily quickly corrects him and says that it is not nice. Confused, Isabel asks what is going on. Lily explains that it is just a small tradition. Tonight, one of the maids will be rewarded for her hard work. She tells Isabel that this place helps women who are lost, broken, or trying to start over. It gives them work and a chance to rebuild their lives. Finally, they reach Isabel's room. Just then, a man suddenly appears. It is Lily's husband, Ray. In a quiet but serious voice, Lily warns him to stay away from the new maids, then quickly sends him off. They step inside and Lily tells Isabel to get some rest and start work in the morning. Once alone, Isabel unpacks her things and heads to the shower. As the bathroom fills with steam, words slowly appear on the mirror. They will kill you. But Isabel never notices. A few seconds later, the message fades away. Back in her room, something catches her attention near the air vent. She moves closer to look, but a loud bang suddenly makes her jump and fall. A woman's laughter echoes outside her door. She opens it to check, but the hallway is empty. Then the lights begin shutting off one by one. The hallway goes completely dark. A second later, the lights flicker back on, and Isabel sees a shadowy figure standing at the far end, staring straight at her. Terrified, she runs back into her room, locks the door, and pushes a chair against it. Sitting on her bed, she keeps staring at the air vent while nervously playing with her lighter. Later that night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., someone tries to open her door. The chair stops them from getting in. At the same time, someone watches her through the vent. The refrigerator starts shaking. Then a strange man suddenly appears in her room. As Isabel sleeps, the man kneels at the foot of her bed and starts licking her feet. His face looks like a pig mask. Drool drips onto her skin and Isabel wakes up in shock. She looks around but the room seems empty. Feeling something wet on her face, she leans down to look under the bed but no one is there. The moment she stands up, the pig-faced man attacks from behind. A violent struggle breaks out. He tries to knock her out with chloroform, but Isabel fights back and manages to knock him unconscious. Before she can catch her breath, she hears more people trying to get into the room. Someone is trying to break down the door while others are crawling through the air vent. Still dizzy from the chloroform, she crawls toward the bedside lamp. Two more pig-masked figures enter. One climbs through the vent. Another comes through a hidden passage behind the refrigerator. The masks come off. One of them is Sharon. Another is Kevin. The man Isabel knocked out is Bob. Annoyed, Kevin asks why Bob did not wait for the others. He switches on the light and opens the door, letting two more masked figures inside. Just then, Isabel regains consciousness as Sharon drags her across the floor. Thinking fast, Isabel bites into a live electrical wire. The shock hits Sharon, giving Isabel a chance to break free. She runs and hides inside the closet. Kevin and the others surround it. Sharon and Bob recover and get ready to attack again. The closet door swings open. Isabel is curled up and waiting. She gives a sly smile and without hesitation she strikes and kills Kevin. She grabs a stash of hidden weapons and shoots one of the masked attackers. Sharon quickly kicks the shotgun away. Now armed with a machete, Isabel faces the rest of them. One of them reaches for the gun, but she cuts him down before he can grab it. As she goes for the shotgun, Bob pulls her back. Outnumbered, Isabel dives under the bed. Using the mattress to trap them, she fights back and repeatedly stabs Bob until he stops moving. Sharon grabs the shotgun and fires, but Asia manages to dodge the shot. A second later, the gun clicks empty. With no bullets left, the fight turns into brutal hand-to-hand combat. In the middle of the chaos, Bob throws a knife at Asia, but it misses and hits Sharon instead. Asia takes advantage of the moment and brings Sharon down with one clean strike. Badly injured, Bob drags himself out of the room trying to escape. Asia quickly pulls on her sweatpants and chases after him. She catches up, knocks him to the ground and pins him down. Nearby, the old woman watches the scene with quiet amusement, even clapping as she realizes Asia clearly lied about being just a maid. Without hesitation, Asia finishes Bob. The old woman looks at her and asks one simple question. Who are you? That is when Asia finally reveals her true identity. She is Asia Reeves. 10 years earlier, after running from the police, Asia made the biggest mistake of her life by leaving her younger sister behind. Although her father survived being shot, Asia was captured and spent nearly 10 years in prison. During that time she learned how to fight, survive, and never trust anyone. After her release, Asia never stopped searching for her sister. A private investigator eventually told her that Maria had last been seen in Virgil, inside the same building Asia had just entered. He also told her the building has hired a new maid who will start in a month. To get inside, Asia tracked down the real Isabel and stole her identity. Back in the hallway, Asia demands to see her sister. She tells Lily that no one else has to get hurt if they hand Maria over. But Lily stays calm and says she still has a very unusual family to care for. Then something surprising happens. The people Asia just killed began walking out of her room as if nothing had happened. The man she had beheaded calmly picks up his head and places it back on his neck. Others begin reattaching their limbs as if death means nothing to them. A maid suddenly attacks Asia, and in panic, Asia stabs her and rushes into her room. A child screams, asking what she did to his mother. Asia yells at him to be quiet and rushes to barricade the door, but before she can finish, the child stabs her. Asia turns and knocks him unconscious with a single hit. Outside, Lily casually tells the maid to clean up the blood once she comes back to life, then pulls out the machete. Inside the room, Asia smashes the glass and uses it to pull out the knife. She pushes the refrigerator aside, hoping to find a hidden exit, but there is nothing. She tries the window then the air vent, but neither leads anywhere. The pounding on the door gets louder, and Lily tells her that no one gets out alive. Running out of options, Asia notices something strange beneath the carpet. She pulls it back and finds a hidden trapdoor. Without thinking twice, she jumps inside. Asia crawls through the tight underground tunnel, but Bob had already guessed her move. He is somewhere in the same tunnel, waiting. Hearing him nearby, Asia quickly climbs into a small opening above him and hides until he passes. Exhausted and bleeding, she collapses for a brief moment. Then she looks down at the bird tattoo on her wrist. It reminds her why she came and she pushes forward. Soon, she reaches another narrow passage and hears voices nearby. She pauses to listen and carefully moves a book aside to peek through a hidden opening, but Lily notices. She suddenly opens the secret door and catches Asia by surprise. Asia slams it shut and runs. Lily swings the machete at her. Asia dodges, but the blade slices her hand. As Asia keeps running, Sharon tries to shoot her but misses. The old woman shouts that Asia must be kept alive. Sharon and Kevin chase her through the tunnels. Sharon finally catches up and attacks, but Asia fights back. She grabs a nail and stabs Sharon over and over until she falls again. Asia takes back the shotgun and keeps moving through the tunnel. Just when she thinks it's over, Sharon grabs her from behind. She has come back again. This time, Asia blows her head off with the shotgun. But even that is not enough. Sharon's headless body keeps moving, blindly attacking anything in its path. Eventually, it stumbles in the wrong direction, giving Asia a chance to escape. Just then the old woman's husband, Ray, appears and pulls Asia to safety, saving her from Kevin. Once they are clear, Ray asks if she saw the message on the mirror in her room. Asia says she never noticed it. Ray then reveals the horrifying truth. The building is over 100 years old and was built as a temple for Satan. The people living there made a deal with the devil. In exchange for human sacrifices, they were given immortality. Ray explains that everything in this place revolves around a list of names. If your name is written on that list, you become immortal. That is why no one here truly dies. He tells Asia that they regularly bring new people into the building, only to sacrifice them, just like they plan to do with her. He also says that sometimes a few people are spared and become part of the family. But if someone breaks the rules or fails them, their name is removed from the list, and they become mortal again. As Ray is explaining all of this, something disturbing happens. One of Sharon's eyes crawls out of her destroyed head and begins following them through the tunnels. Asia and Ray make their way upward toward level 1, unaware that the eye is still tracking them. At one point, Asia looks through an air vent and sees several people inside a room doing strange and disturbing things. Seeing her reaction, Ray calmly explains that when people live forever, they eventually become bored. He tells her this is the floor where they make love. A little later, they enter another room. There, Asia finally finds her younger sister, Maria. Asia is overwhelmed and tries to explain that she came all this way to rescue her. But Maria shocks her by saying she already belongs here now. The story then flashes back to what happened after Asia left her behind years ago. Maria is shown living like a servant, treated badly and forced to obey. The man who took her in reminds her that he gave her shelter and food, then pressures her by saying that if she is truly grateful, she should prove it with actions, not words. Later, Maria finds an advertisement for a maid position in the same building. Not long after, she wakes up surrounded by the pig-masked cult members. Lily steps forward and tells her she is lucky because one of their maids had recently been caught stealing, and that maid would now be sacrificed instead. Lily then offers Maria the maid's position. Back in the present, Asia struggles to process everything she has just heard. Sharon's eye quietly watches from above. Maria refuses to leave. She tells Asia she feels safe here and says she no longer needs her sister. The conversation quickly turns into an argument. Emotions take over and Asia punches Maria, knocking her unconscious. Asia then asks Ray how they can escape. Ray tells her there is a fire escape ladder that can lead them out of the building. At that same moment, a spider crawls onto Sharon's eye. The eye drops to the ground while trying to shake it off. Asia quickly grabs it and crushes it in her hand. Meanwhile, Kevin finds Sharon's headless body and demands to know where Asia is. Sharon tries to communicate through strange hand movements. Somehow, Kevin understands that Asia is in the pleasure room. 2 cult members are sent after her, but Asia shoots both of them without hesitation. Carrying the unconscious Maria, Asia runs through the hallways while Ray helps clear the way. He opens the fire escape door and tries to block the others from following them, but Kevin punches him aside and forces his way through. Asia barely manages to escape Kevin and keep moving. Before continuing the chase, Kevin warns Ray that he will pay for betraying the family. Asia takes an emergency lift and ends up in a small kitchen. Just as she catches her breath, she hears footsteps coming closer. It is Bob. She quickly hides under a table with Maria. Bob spots Asia's shotgun lying nearby. Maria begins to wake up, but Asia quickly covers her mouth to keep her quiet. For a moment it seems like Bob has missed them. Then suddenly he reaches under the table, grabs Asia and drags her out. He pins her to the ground and starts beating her over and over again with the shotgun. Just as Bob is about to finish Asia, Maria steps in and drives an axe into his head, saving her sister. The fight leaves Asia badly injured, and she soon loses consciousness. In another part of the building, Lily confronts her husband, Ray, in a room filled with old photographs of the two of them taken over many decades. She demands to know why he betrayed the family. Ray admits that he once supported her when the people they sacrificed were criminals and dangerous people. But now he says things have changed. They are killing innocent people and he can no longer be part of it. Lily tells him she never trusted the outside world anyway. She reminds him of how weak and vulnerable they once were, and how now they have everything because of the choices they made together. Before Ray can say anything else, Kevin enters the room and calls for Lily. Sharon is left to guard Ray. Her body is slowly healing, and her face is only half formed as she continues to regenerate. Let's stop the recap here so I don't ruin the ending for you. That's a wrap on our breakdown of the 2026 movie, They Will Kill You. What do you think about this movie? Drop your thoughts and reactions in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss one of our thrilling movie analyses and deep dives. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay tuned for more edge-of-your-seat content.